Hello everyone. Uh, welcome, welcome to day two, the session two of A Champion's Mind. This is Devinder Bhusari, Director Shaishaya Tennis Academy and a certified Heartfulness trainer. Uh, just to recap what we did in the first session. In the first session, we went through the psychological characteristics of champions. How do they feel when they play their best tennis? We spoke about the ideal performance state, right? The ideal performance state, IPS, as it is called, playing in the zone. What are the qualities that are there in the players at that point in time when they are having their peak performance. So we looked at the ITF book, the ITF Advanced Manual, which is available on the ITF ebooks. I'd recommend everyone to download it from the ebooks app. Today we'll be going through more of that as well, and then we got into how relaxation, can help you, of course, physically, relax your whole body. Also, how your mind can be brought into the present. Your thoughts can come to the body. How that can be an aid for meditation. Uh, Great to see a lot of viewers already joining in. Welcome everyone. Then we actually did the relaxation. We also went on to the heartfulness meditation, and we discussed a little bit about how meditation can help you increase your awareness, and it is a wonderful instrument for managing your thoughts, for regulating your thoughts. As we see in the ITF book from the research, they actually talk about four qualities, of which most of them are linked with, how you control your thoughts, whether it is emotions, whether it is controlling your thoughts. That is a characteristic. So today, there is quite a lot to cover. This is again going to be a very experiential session. We will start off with a very, very important thing for all athletes and tennis players, which is intensity. Now, intensity is another word for the energy that we use on the court. If a person is playing very energetically, expending a lot of his or her energy on the court, we say that that person is intense. Now, but in the match, we have to manage the intensity. We have to manage it in a way that, sometimes the intensity goes too high than when we want. Sometimes it is too low. So actually, what research has said is, if your heartbeats per minute is between 55 to 75% of your max heart rate, your max heartbeat, then it is your ideal performance. Now, there are times when it goes very high up. So let me now read out from this wonderful book, the ITF Advanced Coaches Manual. Okay, for a lot of you to be able to relate to what exactly happens. And this, when it actually goes too high, this results in your heart rate. When it goes too high, this results in excess anxiety. We all have anxiety in the match, a little bit of pressure we all feel, and it is required to bring out your best performance. But when it goes too high, how is it that a player feels? Okay, when it goes too low, okay, when you're that the word uses under activation, when it goes too low, how is it that the player feels? And how can we manage this using our breath? So that is what we are going to get into. So how excess anxiety is manifested. This is page number 117, chapter 7, mental training for tournament players. Physically, how excess anxiety is manifested physically. Muscle tension and loss of coordination. Muscles get too tight. Reduced flexibility. Correct. We all, players who've played tournaments can all relate to this. We've all felt this at one time or the other. You get fatigued very quickly. Even in the beginning of the match, you start feeling a lot of fatigue. Very fast heart rate, shallow and irregular breathing. This is what it leads to, correct? Physically. The legs feel weak, muscular weakness, and there is jerky rhythm of play. So, psychologically, correct? How does this feel? Psychologically, there is reduced concentration and difficulty in refocusing. There's decreasing emotional control. There are feelings of fear, of course, more anxiety, you feel more fearful. There's impaired strategy and tactical judgment, which leads to poor decision making. You give up, you stop trying. Everything appears to be going so fast. We've all felt it, right? When we're so nervous, everything is just, too quick for us. Inability to think clearly and accurately, increasing negative and self-critical thoughts, and persistent sense of pessimism about the future. So this is how we feel when there is excess of anxiety. Correct? Now, how do we tackle this using our breath? And this is where yogic science comes in. Okay. So we have two nostrils of a nose through which we breathe. Yogic science tells us that your right one, okay, your right nostril has to do with activity. This is actually also called the Surya Nadi. Okay, so throughout the day, this is what is more active, more prevalent. Of course, they switch every few hours, so they do change their roles, but normally throughout the day, if your health is okay, if everything is normal, okay, then the right nostril is the actual one that is predominant. You can check right now in your breathing which one is predominant. Clearly, the right one for me right now is more dominant. Now, so, and the left one has to do, the right one is the Surya Nadi, the left one is the Chandra Nadi, that is more dominant in the evening, when we have to cool ourselves down. That is to do with rest, with repose. Now, when there is excess anxiety, okay, and let's try this right now. I want you to close your right nostril and let's have 5 deep breaths from the stomach, okay, and only through the left nostril. See how you feel right now. Okay, let's try this. Just breathe in through the left and exhale through the left. Let's have 5 deep breaths only from the left and see how you feel. Keep checking, keep doing it, keep checking. How do you feel when it is to just breathe out through the left? You know, uh, so you can write down your comments, but very clearly you will straight away start feeling a sense of calm, sense of peace. So this is what you need to do when there is excess of anxiety. Okay, when I read out all these physical and psychological factors that actually come in, right? At that point in time, take a little bit more time, go to the fence, and do breathe in and out only from your left nostril and see what happens, even during the changeover. Right, so that is one breathing technique that can help you on the court, even before the match. In fact, I would even suggest this. Before the match, when you're too anxious, try this out. It'll help you feel calm and calm down your nerves. What are the other tips over and above breathing that can help you manage your excess anxiety? You want to actually slow things down. Take more time. You don't want to rush. So walk to the fence, towel, use the towel. When you walk back, okay, take the full 30 seconds, 25 seconds that you get between points. Okay, do not rush. Okay, this is not the time wherein you want to increase, before the point, you don't want to jump up and down too much. Okay, you don't want to run around too much. This is when you want it to be calm. Just relax, even doing a little bit of relaxation, just a mental relaxation of, relaxing your arms, relaxing your legs will help. Okay, now there are times wherein you actually need to be activated more, but you are underactivated, wherein you're not aroused at the optimum level, in tennis. So here is what happens. I'm going to read out again from this book. how underactivation is manifested. And I've faced this. There have been times where I've faced this in the match, and I'm sure some of you have also. So physically, how underactivation feels is you feel that you do not have much energy. You feel slow. You feel heavy in the legs, no bounce. You're moving slowly, you're preparing late, poor preparation. Your head and shoulders are down. Okay, your eyes are wandering, looking here and there. And you're physically looking lazy. All signs that the energy, the intensity, as we spoke about in the beginning, is less. It is not more, it is less. Psychologically, how does this feel? You know, it feels that there is lack of concern about how well the player will play, how well you are playing. And it is almost as if you don't care. You're easily distracted, poor concentration. You have low patience and a don't care feeling, no enthusiasm on the court, lack of anticipation and timing, and sense of helplessness. So when this thing actually happens, you want to actually do the opposite. Okay, so of opposite of when you are too anxious. So what is the opposite here? So you want to breathe in, on the changeover or whenever you have time, you want to block your left nostril and breathe in through the right. See how it feels. Let's do this 5 times. You can also message me, as to how this feels. Keep doing this. Do this for around 5, 6 times. See how it feels. Okay, you will feel, and for me, I've done this, so clearly feel there is more energy now within you. Okay, you're active, you're ready. Okay, because your right nostril has to do with activity, so that gets keyed up, so your body starts feeling more energetic. Also, when there was excess of anxiety, you want to take deep breaths, right? Here, you don't want to take deep breaths because that is going to slow you down even further. What do you want to do? You want to take short breaths. Okay, you want to, or as if you're blowing out a candle. Okay, that kind of a breathing is what you want. Like blowing out a candle on a birthday cake and so on. So that extreme push you want. Also, you actually want to run more now. So whenever possible, run from the chair to the baseline to activate. Run after out balls. Take a step. Return the fault serves. All of that, everything that will help you actually get more rhythm, be more active, as a strategy, engage in more rallies with the opponent. All of this when you this will help you raise your intensity. Okay, so any further questions that you have, feel free to ask, but this was about the first topic. Okay, again from this book, The Advanced Coaches Manual. Okay, we move on now to the second part, and to me, probably the most important part of our three-part sessions. Very, very important. This what I'm going to share with you, something that has helped me transform myself. Help bring about change, and this is very important because you see. What most of us tennis players, coaches, and let us talk about even in our normal day-to-day life. What is it that we find the most difficult? We find it difficult to change ourselves, to change our habits, to change our tendencies, isn't it? Kitni bar, so many times that we've actually tried and yet probably failed miserably when it actually comes to changing ourselves. So I'm going to read out from this book just a couple of. This is Designing Destiny by Kamlesh Patel. Really good by for people who are interested in self development. So all the core practices that we are going to talk about, experience during these three-part sessions, they're all given here with a lot of details. This and the Heartfulness Way. These are the two books that I'll recommend. Designing Destiny, the Heartfulness Way. So I'm going to read out a little, just one para, why, and that'll give you a great idea of why mental toughness, and what we are doing is such a key for a sports person and for each and every person. So this is page number 184, and this is where Kamlesh Patel, also known as Daji, he talks about the three bodies, which is our physical body, the mind, and the soul. But I'm going to focus here just on the mind. So he says we also have the mental body, also known as astral body, subtle body, vibrational body, and the mind. It is the field of the heart and mind and is associated with energy. So this field, this mental field, is actually a combination of the heart as well as the mind. A lot of us ignore the heart, but which is where heartfulness meditation is so great, because it also involves the heart. Okay. It is also associated with energy. As sports people, energy, intensity, very, very important. It has the characteristic of thinking, feeling, understanding. Very important. Thinking, feeling, understanding. This is also the realm of thoughts, feelings, emotions, intuition, what we spoke about last time, inspiration, ego, intellect, wisdom, courage, love, and consciousness. There is both movement as well as rest in it. Again, coming back to the characteristic, the psychological characteristic of sports people, as we spoke about in the first session. There are these two dualities, complete paradox. They're so active, yet they are at rest inside. Physically so pumped up, yet cool, calm inside. There's so much of pressure, they don't feel any of it, right? It is like time standing still from them. So all these dualities exist when it actually comes to top performance. Now everything is happening actually at great speed, great energy, and yet they think that it is happening and feel that it is happening slowly. So this is why the mental aspect is very important. And he used a pretty nice word, consciousness. Let's dwell a little bit on consciousness, because what do you understand? It's a big word, but what do we understand? If I were to ask you, who are you, or describe yourself as a tennis player? Maybe some people here will say, okay, I'm a tennis player this age, or I play, tournament under 12 or under 14. We have Balveer Singh here. We have one or two coaches here who joined us. So they will actually, you will say qualities or whatever comes to mind. I'm a good player, let us say. Some of you will say, I'm a good player, I'm a tennis player, I'm a professional tennis player. So that is who you think you are. Your consciousness of yourself as a tennis player. Maybe one or two of you will answer, I'm a champion. Doesn't matter what age you are, I'm a champion. How do you think about yourself, your perspective, आपका नजरिया, how do you think of yourself as a tennis player? Just to give you an example, that is what consciousness really means. At what level do you see yourself, or from what level do you see? And consciousness actually changes. Uh, it changes when we actually do our practices. So which is what will get me to why should we be practicing. So this beautiful second chapter in which he brings about why should we be practicing these heartfulness practices or these mental practices, right? So he says, this consciousness actually shifts, it evolves, it expands. Okay, and it expands from what? So just to give you an example, some of it is related to tennis, but all of it is related to life, because these sessions here will have a lot to do with, what you feel about yourself, your belief about yourself, and of course, what we become as human beings. What I am as a human being gets reflected on the court. And as it is, tennis careers, even as a professional, are actually short. We have to live a life after this. So let us take this as preparing ourselves for life. So what does the consciousness change from. So just to give you a few examples, it changes from me to we, from selfish to selfless, from being reactive to responsive. Response is how I choose. Reactive is it just comes, and it is more a little bit from the ego, more from the fear sometimes. Passion to compassion, from anger to love, from arrogance to humility. We're going to speak about humility, especially in the next session. Okay, with connected with a very beautiful inner connect practice, but humility, and we'll be looking at examples in there. From anxiety to poise, that cool, calm demeanor which a lot of top players exhibit. You don't see that anxiousness on their faces. You don't see that nervousness. They actually have it within their control. From fear to courage, from contraction to expansion, from being restless to peaceful, from imbalance to balance. Restlessness, imbalance, we all feel it on the tennis court. We feel heavy, from heavy to light, from gross to subtle, from complex to simple. Complex thinking in the middle of the match, you want it to be steady, right? So that you can make good decisions. That is where meditation helps you. From impure to pure, from desire to contentment, from attachment to non-attachment, from expectation to acceptance, from thinking to feeling, feeling to experiencing, experiencing to becoming, from intellectualizing to wisdom, from having to being in love. So these changes are possible through very simple practices, and two of which we are going to get into right now. So I'm going to guide you through a heartfulness rejuvenation. It is a very beautiful technique to remove, all the negative tendencies within us. All tendencies, in fact. You've all struggled on the court, right? We've all faced this problem that the coach is trying to get us to do something, yet we are unable to change. Once we have learned something, we find it difficult to unlearn. Right? In a pressure situation, a lot of times we end up doing the same mistake. We end up, again doing the same thing, and it is so painful at that point in time. We've all done it, correct? Whenever there's a pressure situation, we end up going back to our old ways. And they say pressure is a very good lie detector. So it brings us back to our old ways. So why does this happen? Is because everything we've learned, everything is that. Imagine a blackboard in the class, okay, or a clean slate. You go and write or draw something. Now, when you want to, write something new, or let us say move on to something else, now wouldn't you clear out whatever is written on the blackboard or the slate? We do clear out in the normal case, but here with our systems, everything that has gone in has an impression now. It has all now become a part of me, very difficult to remove it. So which is where this rejuvenation practice actually comes in, and it helps us remove all these impressions that we have formed, so that it becomes easy to learn something new. Okay, so we'll all close our eyes, and I will guide you through this technique of rejuvenation. There are two words that I use. We use complexities and impurities. That is similar to the impressions that are actually formed within us. So complexities, because over a period of time there's so much of mismatch. Our thinking is not simple. So just to get in that simplicity, we remove the complexity, and impurities, again, the negative tendencies. So I'll guide you through this, as well as I'll guide you through the meditation. So let us all, get ready for these two practical techniques, and I will guide you through the meditation later on. At the end of the meditation, I'll say that's all. You can open your eyes, and then I can take feedback from all of you. So let us close our eyes. I'll just request you, if you're on your mobile phone, just make it on silent. So gently, with your eyes closed, sit in a very relaxed and comfortable position. Let your breathing be completely normal and natural. Let us begin the heartfulness cleaning or rejuvenation. Bring your attention to your entire system, from the top of the head to your tailbone. Bring your attention there. Now you are actively cleaning the complexities and the impurities. Feel that you are removing this from the top of your head. You're removing your complexities and impurities from the top of your head to the tailbone, from your back. Now mentally remove this. Close your eyes and mentally use your willpower. Remove your complexities and impurities. Remove the impurities. Use your willpower. Use your willpower as required. Feel that this is being removed in the form of smoke. Your complexities and impurities are being removed from your back in the form of smoke. Please continue with this process. Papa, volume. Feel. Do this with a lot of confidence and willpower. Feel that it is being removed. As you get comfortable with this process, gently accelerate the process. Accelerate this process of cleaning. This is a very active process. Do not think of any specific quality or incident that you want to get rid of. Just brush everything off. Normally, When you will do this at the end of the day, you will feel a sense of lightness or emptiness inside. At that point, imagine that from your front there are divine rays, divine current actually coming into your system. This current will help you remove your impurities from your back. So, divine current is coming in from your front, and the impurities are leaving you from your back. This is helping you perform this practice even better. Feel that these divine currents are now entering your heart. From your heart, they're spreading to each and every part of your body. Feel these divine currents spreading to all the parts of your body, including the limbs. Feel these divine currents spreading to each and every cell. When complexities are removed, you are feeling simple. When impurities are removed, you're feeling pure. Your whole body has become simple and pure. It is as if it has become a house of God. With this beautiful feeling, let us get into meditation. With our eyes closed, let us bring our attention to our heart. Make a suggestion that there is presence of divine light in your heart. This is just a thought. And be with this thought. Feel that your heart is attracting your attention inwards. If your mind wanders onto any other thought, try to ignore those thoughts, just like you would in the middle of a match. Just remind yourself that you are meditating, and very gently, very softly, bring your attention back to the divine light present in your heart. Let us do this without any effort. Do not try to focus or concentrate. Just let this be very natural, very simple. Let us continue to meditate like this with a heart full of love and joy. At the end of the meditation, I will say that's all. You may open your eyes then. Till then, let us continue to meditate like this. That's all. You may all very gently, very softly open your eyes. What do you all feel right now? All the viewers, what is your feeling at this point in time? You can put it in the comment section. It's a good idea to maintain a diary. Also, how you feel at the end of the meditation. So, um, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask, normally how we feel at the end of meditation is after a good meditation is how champions feel when they're playing their best tennis or their best match across all sports. So, what all these sessions are also about is to fine tune ourselves mentally, to get into that zone mentally, which allows us to play our best, to bring out our best performance every single time. As of now, we think that it just happens, correct? On a good day, actually, just good performance happens. However, uh, what research says is this: your best performance is reproducible. You can actually bring out your best performance if you are fine tuned physically as well as mentally. So, physically, be fit, work hard, work out, but mentally, what we did in meditation is the right way to go about fine tuning things and the mental aspect. Uh, I'm on the Indian Tennis page in case if you have any questions. Okay. If people find it difficult to change, a lot of people like the session. A lot of good mornings. People are feeling very relaxed and energetic, and that is great. Calm and composed, very energetic, excellent. And Nitin, good to see you here. Nitin Kumar Sinha, one of the very good players, he says that he's feeling very calm and relaxed. That's excellent. And that is the feeling, right? What you want in a match. So next week, we are actually going to do a beautiful little exercise on, how do we know what is our condition at the end of the session? You know, how at the end of the meditation, what is our session? And we will see that how it is so connected with what top players feel when they are playing in the zone. That we have beautiful connection that we are going to get into. A lot of people saying that they feel relaxed and better. Yes, this, which brings me back. So last week we had a very good question. It said that someone who felt very uh, angry in practice. So you can see that almost everyone here is reporting that they felt very calm and very relaxed. Uh, when you feel calm and relaxed, your anger is automatically going to go. When you remove all these complex security, you see a lot of it is these are all tendencies, habits that we've gotten into. As tennis players, also a lot of them get into superstitions. They think that okay, if they do this, they played well. Their lucky T-shirt, or wearing the socks on the left side, getting up from the bed on the left side. Just because we are mentally a little bit weak, try connecting a lot of things, to victories, to good performance, and we end up getting caught. So just being very simple. I know a couple of players who actually, had the superstitions, and just be very simple. Whatever needs to be done on the court, off the court, just do it. Very well. So a lot of people are feeling very rejuvenated. Akanksha mentions that a tremendous player who's doing so well in college tennis as well. She feels light, relaxed, focused, and she says the mind wanders a little bit in the beginning, but it is possible to compose yourself. Yes, Akanksha, just like in a match, the mind does wander, but yeah. So, thank you. I think a lot of people reporting that they felt very good and relaxed. People are saying that even there's a question from Kirti. It says evenings are the best time for the cleaning, rejuvenation. Yes, at the end of the day when we do this. So in fact, all the tennis players, once you're done with the whole day's workout, everything done, fitness done, tennis done. Evening, go back, have your shower. So your shower is the physical cleansing. at the end of the day. Do this as the mental cleansing or emotional cleansing at the end of the day and see how you feel. Thank you so much, everyone, for writing in. I'll just take a couple of, if it is possible for me to take a couple of comments from the Heartfulness Ahmedabad page as well. Uh, so I'll just answer that. Feel free to questions. Be very happy to answer questions. And let me see if we have some comments on there. Fullness, uh, so there are questions here. When should we do the meditation? Relaxation at any point in time of the day. The meditation, ideally, in the check for yourself, fix up a time that to have the right time for meditation, just like we have our food for going off to sleep. So that would be so. Relaxation can do it any point of the day, especially before when you feel anxious. So Nitin has a question here. It says, "Sir, when are we in the zone? How and what can we do to be in the zone for a longer period of time?" Great question, Nitin. Um, so tennis players, when they are giving at their peak performance, their best performance. So last week we did this, correct? So whenever reported your best performance, close your eyes. You can actually do this, all of you, and write down how you felt physically, mentally, psychologically. How have you felt in that period? What are the qualities? So they've actually done a lot of research worldwide on, they've taken interviews, noted down, and last week I shared those characteristics. Uh, so, like I said, zooming happens when you're at the best tuning. So, just like the radio, you will only be able to catch a particular radio frequency when you're tuned in, correct, to that radio. So, radio, for example, radio one, for example. So, only you're tuned in. So, similarly, here your best performance comes in you're tuned in mentally to be at your best. Your preparation, physical, mental preparation, even tennis preparation has to be at your best. And if you can maintain, see, a lot of it boils down to your thoughts. So if you can, and if you can regulate your stay in that throughout, uh, that is what brings out your best performance. So that is even with meditation, we progress 15, 20 minutes to an hour of meditation. So the more that you believe it, take it from me, the more that you actually work on your mental aspects, the more you will that you can remain in a zone. You will get into a zone more frequently, and you can remain in a zone. You've seen this happen so many times in practice, right? Nitin and all the players, that your best performance comes out on the practice court because you're so relaxed, so fluid, without a care. Don't think too much. Thoughts are just very stable, very calm. So it brings out your best. So similarly in the match also you'll be able to bring out your best. So thank you all for the comments. I think a couple of coaches are writing in, which is very heartening to know. I think take a couple of there's a few, but I'd like to see some questions here. Just a minute. A lot of people are very calm, and I think everyone now good to know. Actually, everyone. I think that is it from my side for this session. And next week, see you with this connect session. See you with more qualities about what tennis players feel at their best. How check where you also feel that with respect to meditation. Humility is also going to be a part of the session next time, because that is a great definition of a champion, how they are. So thank you so much. Do share if you like this. Share the link with uh, share this link with everyone, all the tennis enthusiasts and yeah, people around, coaches, players, parents. Let them benefit from this. Very grateful to Indian Tennis for this opportunity, as well as we partnered with Heartfulness to bring this to you. And there's another question: how can we avoid the distractions around? Yes, how do we avoid the distractions during meditation? Um, we do, we avoid them by ignoring the things around. It's just like, let us say, you're driving a car road and there's a dog that actually barks, and follows your car. What do? You don't react. You just keep driving and you ignore what happens after a point in time. The dog stops. So similarly, distractions, they have power to affect us only when our attention goes there. So when our not go there, they do not have power and they automatically drop off. You will see with the rituation, with the meditation, how powerful they are, because you do not give power to other things. You just automatically ignore them and you'll see that they drop off. When we remove the negative qualities, we are full of positive qualities, isn't it? This calmness, don't bring calmness inside. Calmness is a part of us. Relaxed state is a part of us. Happiness is a part of us. You just remove the negatives. The positives are there. So great. I think let's look forward to the next session. Thank you, Shailesh, for asking that question. And everyone who has problems with anger and the emotional problems, rejuvenation is key. Practice this cleaning process and see what happens. Right. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you next Sunday, 11 o'clock.